A film's best moments are not just random scenes, but carefully crafted storytelling techniques that make us feel, think, and remember. These techniques have been used for centuries in literature and theater, but it's in cinema where they are most masterfully applied. A film's best moments are not just random scenes, but carefully crafted storytelling techniques that make us feel, think, and remember. Consider the iconic opening scene of Jaws, where we're introduced to the ominous score and the eerie atmosphere of the underwater world. This technique, known as atmosphere, sets the tone for the entire film and draws the audience in. But that's not the strangest part. The real magic happens when the audience is emotionally invested in the story. This is where the film's narrative begins to take shape, and the audience starts to care about the characters and their journeys. Let's take a closer look at how films use narrative structure to build tension and create suspense. Imagine a narrative as a series of dominoes, where each scene falls into place to create a sense of inevitability. This is exactly what happens in The Shawshank Redemption, where the audience is led on a journey of hope and redemption. But then something unexpected happens. The characters' arcs intersect in a way that challenges our expectations. This is the power of narrative structure, where the audience is led on a journey of discovery and growth. And then there's the matter of pacing, how a film's rhythm and tempo can affect the audience's emotional response. A slow burn can create a sense of anticipation, while a rapid-fire sequence can leave the audience breathless. Consider the iconic bullet time sequence in The Matrix, where the audience is treated to a mesmerizing display of action and visual effects. This technique, known as rapid montage, is used to create a sense of chaos and urgency. But that's not the only way films use pacing. Sometimes a slower pace can create a sense of intimacy and vulnerability. This is exactly what happens in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where the audience is taken on a journey of emotional discovery. And then there's the matter of music, how a film's score can elevate the emotional impact of a scene. A well-crafted score can create a sense of nostalgia, while a jarring soundtrack can create a sense of unease. Consider the iconic score of Jaws, where the ominous music perfectly complements the on-screen action. This technique, known as leitmotif, is used to create a sense of continuity and cohesion. But that's not the only way films use music. Sometimes a more subtle approach can create a sense of realism. This is exactly what happens in The Social Network, where the audience is treated to a more subdued score that perfectly complements the on-screen action. And then there's the matter of cinematography, how a film's visual style can create a sense of atmosphere and mood. A well-crafted visual style can create a sense of wonder, while a jarring visual aesthetic can create a sense of unease. Consider the iconic cinematography of Blade Runner, where the audience is treated to a visually stunning display of dystopian landscapes. This technique, known as atmospheric cinematography, is used to create a sense of immersion and engagement. But that's not the only way films use cinematography. Sometimes a more subtle approach can create a sense of realism. This is exactly what happens in The Revenant, where the audience is treated to a more subdued visual style that perfectly complements the on-screen action. And then there's the matter of editing, how a film's cuts can create a sense of rhythm and tempo. A well-crafted edit can create a sense of tension, while a jarring cut can create a sense of surprise. Consider the iconic editing of Pulp Fiction, where the audience is treated to a series of nonlinear cuts that perfectly complement the on-screen action. This technique, known as nonlinear editing, is used to create a sense of complexity and depth. But that's not the only way films use editing. Sometimes a more subtle approach can create a sense of realism. This is exactly what happens in The Grand Budapest Hotel, where the audience is treated to a more subdued edit that perfectly complements the on-screen action. So, what can we learn from these filmmaking techniques? We can learn that the best moments in a film are not just random scenes, but carefully crafted storytelling techniques that make us feel, think, and remember. We can learn that the audience's emotional response is just as important as the on-screen action. We can learn that the power of narrative structure, pacing, music, cinematography, and editing can create a sense of immersion and engagement. And we can learn that the best films are those that balance these elements to create a truly unforgettable experience. So, subscribe for more analysis and insights into the world of film. And let me know in the comments what you think is the most important element of filmmaking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.